So it's kind of an unwritten rule with this podcast that the only partners we work with for these promos at the beginning of the episodes are, organizations, venues, bands, labels, businesses, anything that I kind of personally promote and agree with and would like to support. And if you're a regular listener to the podcast, especially to the live episodes, you've probably heard me complaining or Ryan making fun of my old man knees. So basically, I have arthritis in my knees, and until now, I've never really had anything that will deal with the pain. A friend recommended that I try a CBD product on my knees. CBD is a non-psychoactive component of the cannabis or hemp plant. I tried it on my knees, and it was unbelievable. I can't say enough good things about how well this worked. As someone who does a lot of walking, especially outdoors in inclement weather in Winnipeg, it's night and day in terms of my ability to just go and do what I want, and without having to deal with any annoying aches and pains in my knees. So I'm very happy to bring on Low Cloud as the newest partner for Witchpolice Radio. Low Cloud Incorporated is Winnipeg's premier legal CBD online retailer. They carry a wide variety of products from CBD oils to vitamins to pain relief to even skincare. They'll ship right to your door, no medical card or green card needed. You just have to be 18+. All of their products are derived from industrial hemp, and their products are rated top 3 in the world for purity, sitting at 99.9%. Check out their website lowcloud.ca for testimonials in their blog, for some great educational pieces, as well as their massive variety of products. They ship Canada-wide and also do local private delivery. Please use my code CBDWitch for 15% off your first order. This episode of Witchpolice Radio is also brought to you by another great show at the Park Theatre. On April 5th, check out Ridley Bent and the Killer Tumbleweeds at the Park Theatre with opener Kevin Roy, who you may recognize as a past guest on this show. Doors are at 7 p.m., shows 8 p.m., and tickets are $20 in advance, available online at the Park Theatre or from Into the Music Osborne. And stay tuned in a few weeks because we have an exclusive interview with Ridley that will be airing on this show.
You're listening to Garbage Hill, Winnipeg's first podcast network.
Yeah, this is Witchpolice Radio. I'm regular host Sam. I'm in a restaurant, as you can hear by the background noise. And this is a bonus episode. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it'll come out before the event that we're going to be talking about in a second. So if you want to just introduce yourself, we can sort of go from there.
And that mysterious event and
yes.
and restaurant and guest. Hey, good peeps of Pig City. They call me Bruce. I host Here for Breakfast Saturday mornings if you're up. Of course, on UMFM 101.5. I bring you the local stuff of the day. Arts, and it could be death metal. It could be opera. We have a fine opera show coming up.
Right on.
Anything that's local.
Cool.
Just like Witchpolice.
Very similar, yeah. I figured that you'd be able to introduce yourself better than I could because that was a very good intro. I like it. Yeah.
When I started, there was me.
Yeah.
Just me.
Well, you've been doing it forever, right? I mean, it's been a long
20 years next year.
Wow, I'm coming on to 6 right now, and it seems like a long time, but 20, that's...
Well, then you got Rockin' Ronnie,
right, for like a million years. Yeah.
There is no start date. He was always there.
Yeah. So I guess like you've been kind of a constant campus radio feature. Like, you've been around,
everywhere.
Right? Yeah. So and how? Questions are not coming to me right now. The reason we're here is we're talking about the Brunos, right? And that's something you've been doing for a million years, also. Again, with the exaggeration on a million, but it's
yeah. We like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. CKW, Kick FM, UMFM. As soon as I learn French, I'll get one at CKXL.
Yeah.
And I can say I've been everywhere. And the Brunos, the Winnipeg Independent Music Awards, came about in 2005 when the Junos came here.
Right, that makes sense, yeah.
And there's a couple things that ticked me off. And I mean, with tongue-in-cheek kind of whininess, I want this, I want,
Yeah.
Whenever there's an event, we go like, but I wanted this band.
Yeah,
I wanted this. And I was really disappointed at how they were not celebrating our history at all. The glorious musical history we have. John Anderson's the professor, and John Carr, Mr. Buckles, they bring that to you every week. But it wasn't being celebrated.
No, it was just here's some artists from Toronto coming in. And
I was like, okay, whatever, but it's a Junos. It is what it is. This is how big we can be. And I was pushing for a media pass for the gala, because that's where the cool stuff happens.
Yeah, definitely.
And I didn't get one.
So you made your own show.
So I'm doubly disappointed. And I said, I should throw my own award show then. And Neil Pinto, a fine local artist, all of a sudden popped up out of his office and said, shut up and get me an award show. I got you a venue.
Right.
And my jaw dropped. Like,
so now you got to put it together.
I was just mouthing off.
Yeah.
So I did, and we did.
That's awesome.
It was the success of the Junos that year. We were the busiest Juno Fest event, and
so it was officially part of Juno Fest.
It was
unofficial.
No, it was unofficial.
Right.
They of course had to distance themselves, but the organizers of Juno Fest, the Junos, loved it because we weren't trashing the Junos.
No, it's just
it was
Winnipeg, right?
Yeah, right. Like the Junos are necessary to promote. Like, look, Canadians, this is how big we can be.
For sure.
And you can't have it big and can't have it grassroots at the same time. So we jumped in there and got, and it was also the same year that Faith Hill, infamous Faith Hill incident at the American Country Music Awards.
Right.
She just performed and she's all sweaty, and they said, "Oh, just wait, you're getting the next award, so come and and just wait behind the stage." Well, no, it didn't happen. She was ready to step out, and she got her game face on, and they announced somebody else's name, and her face just dropped.
Is that on YouTube? This got to be cool.
Yeah, it is.
I gotta check it out.
And of course, it went viral for the wrong reasons. But the fact of the matter is that she just wanted to get showered, do her photo ops, and get on with her life and do the business. And she was told, no, you're getting the award, and she didn't. And then the debate loomed, and there was a lot of discussion. Well, it's an honor to be nominated.
Yeah.
So here are our awards, the Brunos.
Right.
It is a bottle of beer, local beer, with a punch label on it.
Okay.
So you can't covet this or pawn.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
This award.
Right.
And the fans nominate.
Which is an awesome way to do it.
There is no choice. If you like, Moontan, or the Dusk Rhinos, or Ashley Bienniers, you have to write in their name.
Right.
You saw Begonia, you went, oh my God, that was the best show I ever saw. You have to write it in.
That's awesome.
And because we have the coolest city, has the greatest scene, and we have all this talent, everybody's a winner.
Yeah.
You're a winner for going to a show.
For sure.
It's a delicious hell. You go to a show and it's like, oh, but there's like 3 other great shows. Yeah, but then I wouldn't be here.
Right, exactly. That's a constant struggle with Winnipeg, because I now that I have kids, I don't go to as many shows as I used to, but whenever I do get invited to a show and I want to go, it just so happens that day there's like 5 other shows that I'm intending to get to, and it's just often I never go to any of them because I can't handle it, but it's the amount of choice there is phenomenal.
It's like, what do you do if your 2 best friends get married on the same day?
Right, you got to pick one of them or nothing.
You're going to go to nothing.
Right, probably, yeah, because you can't handle it, right? Yeah.
Thankfully we have Witchpolice, so it comes to you. We have the Village Idiots, so like large shows.
There's so many people doing this kind of stuff now too. How does that feel for you as someone who's been doing this for this long, to see all these other people come out of the woodwork and sort of not doing what you're doing, but also highlighting the local scene?
I oscillate.
Yeah.
I oscillate between look what I start. I don't want to say I started because there was people before me, but there was a time where Beer for Breakfast was the only place you were going to get local music. The hip hop shows and the metal shows, and people play pieces parts. They've all, especially hip hop and metal.
For sure, hip hop, yeah, definitely.
Very supportive of the local scene, but it's like, I want to hear local music. You had to come to Beer for Breakfast. Sure. And we were also the only show that had live music on all the time.
That's
Every
awesome.
show we had live music in the tiny little CKW middle booth, which gets great sound.
It does sound good, yeah.
And now there's all these others, so it's like you feel like you started something.
Right. But you're still doing it, though. It's not like you started and let the torch pass. You're still there.
And then on the other hand, he's like, but you feel kind of irrelevant, lost in the crowd.
Right.
And you go like, settle down, get your ego in control. Yeah. The fact of the matter is the scene has grown.
It has.
And it's awesome. I love it.
It's very cool.
I love the Village Idiots. I tune in every Wednesday. And, whenever I try to go to the shows and listen to them as often as possible. It's the more the merrier.
I think so too, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing about Winnipeg and Manitoba. We have so many volunteers volunteers. We have more volunteers per capita than anywhere else.
Yeah.
We're the most generous. And not, and don't let it go to your heads. It's not because we're so noble.
No.
It's because we have this wonderful, we just want to be participant. We want to be part of it.
For sure.
And that is what makes us great.
Yeah.
And it just, the more the merrier. And now you see a lot of little awards coming out.
Yeah, so they're following in your footsteps as well, yeah.
You know, it's Ashley Bieniers from the Winnipeg Music Project just started her award.
She did, yeah, it's awesome.
We sat down for a beer at Shannon's, and I said, well, here are the Brunos. She's like, wow. And bada bing, bada bang, 2 weeks later, we've got another little award show.
It's awesome.
It's nice to give people credit, but
it is.
So fans go to beerforbreakfast.fm. It's that simple. Beerforbreakfast.fm. The ballot is there. You can vote for as many as you want or as few as you want.
Okay.
You don't feel you have to vote for somebody in every category. Or you can go back twice, vote for 2 people.
Right.
I mean,
is that unlimited voting?
Yeah. How do you... But really, you can only vote for one artist in a category at a time.
Right.
But you can go back. Like
If you can't decide, you're stuck with 2 people. Yeah, the 2 weddings thing.
Yeah. How do you pick between Endless Chaos, Psychotic Gardening, Moontan?
Right.
Well, you vote 3 times. And we love it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the day of the show, right at the last minute, on Beer for Breakfast, we announce the winners.
Okay.
And the way we do it is we grab the Dungeons and Dragons dice. That's right. D12, D10, D4, D8.
Yeah.
And the percentiles. Never forget the percentiles. And we randomly determine who has won the award.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And then, we announce them at the show that night.
Yeah.
In this case, it's March 31st at Shannon's. It's a free show. And we showcase 6 local artists, a 6-pack of local artists. They play a full set.
That's awesome.
A short set.
Well, to fit 6 in, right? Yeah.
30 minutes a set. They come in, they do 6 songs. We change them over. You have just enough time to tell them how great they are.
Yeah.
Get a beer. Sit down or get into your dancing spot, and the next band comes.
Cool.
We're that quick, so we keep the party going. No long changeovers, and we do start right at 8.
That's good. Like there's been so much talk about people need to start shows earlier. There's a few articles that came out. I think it was CBC or Maclean's or something like that. They got kind of semi-viral, and I think a lot of people want to see shows that start earlier. I mean, especially when you get over the age of like 25, you start wanting to. You have responsibilities or kids or
totally.
Whatever. And it's like I can't stay up till 1 a.m. and the show starts at 1. It's kind of it's nice to see that.
Gone are the days where I will wait until 1:30 in the morning at the zoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Robin Black show up.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a lot more people say they want an earlier show than actually show up.
That is true.
For an early show.
That's true. I think it's a Winnipeg thing, though. It's like everyone was at the last Jets game, according to them. But, the amount of people who actually showed up.
I legitimately was.
Were you?
I was at the last 2.
Awesome, thank you.
I was legitimately at the last 2 games for Detroit.
Like the playoff games.
Yeah.
Right on.
I went to one, and my buddy said, I got tickets to the last game. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't at the infamous Tragically Hip show.
Right, no, I wasn't. No.
I was at their show the next night, though.
That's cool.
The only famous show in that regard that I think I've been to was the Skydigger show at the West End when the floor collapsed.
Oh, really? Okay. So when was that?
And that, it's all one, you know what, Sam? It's all one big blur now. I can remember the show, and I can remember, I saw you there.
But when it was it's
but there's so many.
For sure.
And now with the baby, it's...
No, nothing, you don't retain anything now, right?
Everything's different.
No, I hear you. I know what that's like, for sure.
But I can retain, the intro to Powerpuff Girls and...
Yep.
Who lives under the sea, who lives in a pineapple under the sea.
I've heard that way too many times. I've heard that theme song way too many times to count, for sure. So one thing that was interesting, you talked about the Junos before, and when they were here, and Juno Fest and all that, when that happened, I was working for a newspaper, and I actually went to one of the pre-events and was taking the photos of the winners afterwards behind that stupid wall with all the, and that was just it was weird. It was a really weird experience because I wasn't actually seeing them perform or anything. It was just, they get kind of hustled in by all these security guys, posed in front of this wall with the word Juno written over 300 times, and then they bail. And it was exciting at first, because cool, I get to take pictures of, this person, whatever pop star was on the Canadian charts at the time, and it's like, they don't want to be there. They're there for 2 seconds, they suffer through the photos, and then they just keep moving. So
there's so much business that has to be taken
unbelievable.
care of, and and it's pretty easy to criticize, but there's so much business that just has to be
for
done.
sure. Yeah.
You get a media pass to an event.
Yeah, I had one of those for the Junos. Yeah.
Whether and a lot of college radio, a lot of folks are at all these little festivals.
Absolutely,
And what do you want to do? You want to get a picture.
Yep.
Now, what if you want to get 5 pictures?
There's different rules for that. You got to have a certain form.
Okay, that's fine if you're at the Brandon Folk Festival because we're all there and it's nice and intimate. But what happens if there's 200 people that want pictures of the person that's flown in and flying out?
Of course, yeah.
So I understand it. And, it is what it is.
It's weird, though. It's weird. But maybe something of that scale is weird. I mean, because like you say, smaller festivals and things, it's not a big deal. You walk up, take a picture, do an interview, then you're gone, right? But that one was everything was so regulated.
But I got along those lines, I got a funny disruptor story of the Junos. David Francie, a good friend of ours, and Heather Kitching, his publicist, a really good friend of ours. She was staying with us, and they were coming in for the Junos. Not the 2005 Junos, but the last time they were here.
Okay.
And she said, I don't feel like renting a car. Can you pick me up?
Right.
And as luck would have it, luck more than my financial skills, but I've got a very nice car.
Okay.
2007 Chrysler 300.
Right.
Oh, I love that car. I take care of it. I take care of every little thing.
Right.
And Heather goes, wow, I really dig this car. Would you be willing to drive David Francie to the red carpet?
Oh, cool.
I'm like, yeah.
That sounds like fun, yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my car. It's and quite a few people do too. It's a beautiful car. And so I get washed, at Midtown because it's the closest one to the Fairmont, and I pull up to get David, and I'm the only non-beige Lincoln town car. And it's like, oh yeah, I can just feel the energy growing.
Yeah.
So David gets in and goes, man, I like the car. I don't like the fact that we're the only red one. Mm-hmm. So in the whole thing about business, they hand us our number for the car and a route.
Okay.
So there's a route. Oh,
you have to go to the specific.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's not just it's fine. Here's your line and you know your number.
Yeah.
But they've got a particular route planned out in case the line gets too long or too short.
So you don't want to have the celebrities being held up in traffic, right?
Yeah. So we get in line. We're pulling up and we get to the front and heads turn because it's a red car.
Right. So who's this in the red car? Yeah.
And in particular, it was like rubbernecking by the Juno models.
Okay.
And who would be on the red carpet at the time? But Royal Canoe.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
So they recognized the car and me, and they had a hoot. It was of course we couldn't get on and go, is that great, and share a moment.
Yeah,
but
that's
there was
cool.
that visual, a real moment.
Yeah.
So that was the Juno thing.
That's
a lot
awesome.
of crazy things happen at the Brunos.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, just one last thing about the Junos. The funniest thing that happened to me there, and kind of the saddest too, was I was walking into the convention center because they had a room in the convention center where they were taking these photos, like beside the big wall thing. And there's this guy walking out slowly from coming down the escalator, and there's a big group of photographers and stuff there. And he's looking around as if he's trying to get someone's attention, and he's just kind of like he's trying to, he sees we're here with cameras. I think he wanted us to take a photo of him. I don't really recognize who he was. He walked right past me, and I realized as he was walking past that he was the guy who had just won Canadian Idol, and no one gave a shit. It's like nobody recognized him. I'm like, I've seen that. Oh, it's that guy, and he's just kind of sadly, slinks out of the convention center, and no one noticed him.
I really would like to talk with a bunch of former Canadian Idols
absolutely.
that aren't from here, because there are a lot of people from Winnipeg that went to it.
Absolutely.
Sherry St. Germain, Keith and Renee,
Yep.
Nathan Rogers. I was so cheering for Nathan Rogers because I knew that if he got on TV,
that would have been cool,
he would ruin it intentionally,
Yeah.
and it would be awesome. But everyone that went there from Winnipeg went there with, this is how I get to Toronto.
Yeah.
Now I can call up the person I wanted to work with.
Yeah.
And Sherry St. Germain, for example, she was voted out, but she was such a fan favorite. She got to be a wild card.
Okay, cool.
What people don't know is she said no thanks because she had already made other plans.
Based on getting the show to jump into that? Yeah.
Keith and Renee, I guess. Keith and Renee at the time, because they originally were Easily Amused.
Right, and then they changed the name,
But Keith McPherson
He was on that show. Yeah, I remember seeing him on there. Yeah.
And so they bought a ticket for Renee.
Okay.
And their whole plan was to record and to do some publicity.
Just while they were there.
That's
actually a good idea. Yeah.
As soon as Keith was done his whatever, they were, and they stayed there for a week. So they used it as one free plane ticket.
That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah.
So it's. Winnipeggers got their heads on straight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. They take any advantage they can do to get someone outside of Winnipeg to notice you, right? Because that seems to always be the goal. Everyone's trying to get, because in Winnipeg you can have a band that's huge here locally and no one knows who they are outside, and then so everyone's trying to somehow get the word out. And I think a lot of bands just stay Winnipeg, and it's awesome. That are just like these iconic Winnipeg bands that can never go anywhere, but here they're revered. Like it's cool.
And then they're revered again. Monuments Galore releasing the album. Oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
I felt young again. I really was the youngest person in the room.
Oh yeah.
The Stretch Marks.
Yeah, right. They just reissued a bunch of stuff.
Punk Rock Bowling.
Yeah.
They've been, and hopefully they can still make it. A shout out and all of our thoughts to Mark, who had a terrible accident this weekend. The ladder fell out from under him and he broke his back in 2 places.
Oh, that sucks.
A body cast for 2 months. Oh my God, that's going to be itchy.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
That's going to make you really punk.
For sure.
So shout out to Mark Langtree, and hopefully you can still make it to Punk Rock Bowling.
That's huge. That's a huge show. It's really cool.
So we're all over the place, but come down to the Bruno's March 31st.
Yes, exactly. I was going to eventually meander back to that. So who do you have playing this year?
We've got a great show. I first want to mention Lakes and Pines.
Okay.
Because last year I asked Michael Elvis, our music director at UMFM, who would you like to see?
Right.
Because as a dad like yourself, you didn't get out much. I thought, come on, let's try and entice the boss man.
Sure, yeah.
And he goes, Lakes and Pines. And because the bands play for beer and victuals, they are truly singing for their dinner, which we greatly appreciate. That keeps the show free.
That's awesome.
I go to their page, it's like, wow, I really dig. Oh, they're from Morden. I can't ask somebody to come in from Morden.
For beer and food, yeah.
So one day they're in town, later on, I guess it was September, they're in town, and they're like, we're in town, can we be on the show?
Cool.
Heck yeah. I would love that. And I'm talking to Patrick, he says, man, I really wanted, he goes, have you heard our album? I said, yes, I have. I really like it. In fact, I wanted you to play at my event, but couldn't bring myself to ask you to come in from Morden. He goes, oh, we totally do that. So we got Lakes of Pines there this year. We got Otter Than the Otters.
Good band.
Who, oh my goodness, I've known Mitch forever, and everything. They're fun.
I had them on my show last year, and it was a fun interview. Cool guys, and they gave me some recordings to play on the show, and also very good recordings. And then I saw them live, and it was totally not what I expected. Like, it was so energetic, and not that the recordings weren't that, but it was just like, it's very different. Live, they're very different, and it's just so high energy, and like just you get pumped up watching them, and it's positive too. It's like super upbeat, uplifting.
Like that's the thing about Winnipeg is Winnipeggers love an event.
Yeah,
They won't come out to something that happens every week or every month, but
a one-off.
If you have a one-off every month doing the same thing at the same time, it's an event.
Sure.
And the bands and the artists are the same way. They love turning it into the party.
Yeah, this is the show you need to go to.
And Odd and the Otters are great. Last year's, the Brunos, they met the Rocks.
Oh, yeah.
And Two Socks.
Cool.
And became really good friends with Skylar Bouchard.
And some of them are in his band now.
Yeah.
Which is cool,
They met there and said, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Well, that's Skylar Bouchard, who you know from CBC Searchlight doing really well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we should. Montreal is just...
It's a great song. It's one of my favorite songs last year.
It is. Like, that the chorus of don't know much about trust, so I don't know much about loving.
It's so catchy,
Truth is, I don't know much about anything. You broke my heart, man.
That whole album is great. That was one of my favorites from last year. I put it on my list of top local. It's great. Awesome dude.
And this year, just an aside, because her show is too close to the Brunos, Rain Hamilton.
Nice.
She's got a CD release coming out.
I talked to her last week about the CD release. Have you heard her CD?
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just...
I'd heard her before, and I'd seen her live before, and it was very, very good, but this CD this is another step.
You close your eyes, and you can just envision yourself alone at Shady Grove with her playing. Like, it's just so minstrelish.
Totally.
And, well, she does have a degree in medieval musicology.
So that probably helps, yeah.
What are you going to do with that? Well, she did.
She made it work, yeah, for sure.
But
her show was like right around the same time.
Yeah,
so
a week before.
Yeah.
So that's quite it. We didn't want it. So Lakes and Pines, Otter and the Otters, Twin.
Okay.
David Ford.
And they were off for a while, right? Didn't they just come back as a group?
Yeah, they've got no set routes, right? So they canoe literally everywhere.
Don't they play shows while they canoe too? Yeah.
They do. They tour.
Yeah.
They're river armada, as they call it.
Right.
And they'll say, we want to canoe the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's book some shows where we can canoe.
Great idea.
The Sacramento River, the Ohio River, the Assiniboine. They've done that a few times.
Yeah.
They're planning the Red this year.
Cool.
So anyway, they were off in Newfoundland for the last year, and they have their own little radio show, so they're back.
Cool.
Very hypnotic folk, if you like Rain Hamilton.
Yeah.
Very different, but very complimentary. Cole Schway.
Okay.
He's one of the young performers from Folk Fest.
Oh, right on.
He's grown in leaps and bounds. Good roots country. Nothing bro.
Right.
The good stuff.
Well, that's a very Winnipeg thing too. Roots country. Like there's this ridiculous depth of scene for that stuff. I don't know what it is that attracts it here, but I mean, for decades that's been kind of along with punk rock and metal. Basically, it's like Winnipeg's thing. Like,
there's an earthiness to every genre.
Totally.
It could be like you've got the double kick and the growl. And then if you sit back and deconstruct it, you don't always want to deconstruct music, you just want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So you can deconstruct, it's like, that's a Reg Bouvette fiddle lick.
Right, you just played on an electric guitar,
because one of the things I love about Canada being young is like, it doesn't matter who you are. A lot of us are still second or third generation Canadian.
Absolutely.
Multiple generations.
Yep.
Our families just got here.
I got an immigrant parent myself, yeah, exactly.
And that generally means that they start off on the farm, at the farm, with the farm.
Right.
So we still have that wonderful connection to the earth. And
whereas somewhere like the States, it's too far on for that to be that direct.
They've got their urban centers have really developed.
Any more coffee over here?
No, thanks.
Okay, perfect. And what do you think of the cocktails?
Very good. Very good.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good to hear.
Riddled kids can only have so much coffee during the day.
Yeah.
Focus!
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be just like mile a minute, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm all
I already talked fast enough. I don't need it.
So we've got that wonderfulness. And Cole Schway, like part of the young performers, so people know him. And he's got a great country sound.
Cool.
He's bringing a band. It's the first time I've seen him with a band.
Oh, right on.
I know
That's awesome.
a lot of solo stuff. Ashley Biennière.
Is she playing at the show?
She's playing.
Right on.
So
right
we
on.
got that. And here's a real treat. Snarky Remarkable.
That name sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't think I know. Who is that?
Chris Kilray.
Okay.
The closest thing you will find to Andy Kaufman.
Oh, really?
And not annoy you.
Right, okay, yeah. In terms of like just weirdness? Or?
Yeah. And I say that because Andy Kaufman kind of went out of his way to make people uncomfortable
yeah.
all the time.
Sure.
In his regular life. Like his comedy routine was just more of him.
Right.
Just amped up. And
pushing people's buttons over and over again, yeah.
And Chris Kilray is great for channeling that sort of aura and persona and just that being on stage.
Cool.
And then stepping off stage and being a normal dad.
Right. Awesome.
So he's got a couple of sides to him, and he's also a great musician.
Cool.
So with somewhere between Greg McPherson and Dennis Miller.
Okay. It's a weird combination of people, but sure.
There's these wonderful comedic moments. There's these sharp social commentaries, all blended in. And he's produced by Micah Braun, who we know from the Nods and Jika.
Right.
He's a musical genius. Like he truly is. There's a wonderful musicology to it. And yes, you can hear a lot of Beatles because Micah, along with his music partner Jeff Bruce, are Beatles devotees. So it's a nice blend. So we've got singer-songwriter from Ashley, Beatles-esque pop from Snarky, some country from Kolshway.
Whatever the otters do.
Party.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a good time.
That's cool.
Party. Yeah. So, and that's what we'll do. We'll hand out the awards. Not all of our recipients are there because.
Well, that's what I was going to ask next. Yeah, it's like, do people actually show up when they receive it, or is it's such short notice, right?
It's very short notice, and it's intentional for a couple of reasons. Because it's got the excitement of everything builds to this moment. It allows people to vote all the way right up to it.
That's great. Yeah.
And I would feel really bad if somebody turned down a playing opportunity.
Just to pick up a bottle of beer, yeah.
Well, I said that I would show up, so they're counting on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are, but I don't want to take that away.
So what happens if someone wins an award but isn't there? Do you save a bottle of beer for them for later? Or?
Well, sometimes they send people in a set. Oh, yeah, we've got and because you can't give away a full bottle of beer.
Not legally anyway, yeah.
And it is too difficult for the brewery to manufacture an empty set for us.
Sure.
Johnny Marlowe, the Johnny Marlowe, you know him right now as the leader of Breakout West, comes over and we prepare the Brunos.
Okay.
We drain, we clean,
cool.
And punch label them. And they are the old-fashioned click, 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 click punch labels on them.
That's awesome.
And more than one, Mitch George for sure, but there's a few other Juno winners who say, I don't display my Junos or anything else. The only one I've got is this.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Because it's the fans.
Yeah.
So
what's the local community voting for you rather than some whatever board of producers?
And it's the hardest award in the world to win. It's random.
Right. So that's crazy, yeah.
A lot of artists, if they're not playing, will just show up and cheer everybody on.
Yeah.
It's like, you won!
Yeah. That's exciting.
Because, it's an awareness campaign more than an awards show.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the delicious hell we have. On any given night, these 6 artists who you've loved are all playing in different places.
Right, you're there all at once. One spot,
and I love, another shout out to JP Ho.
Okay.
He showed up to collect his award one year, and I didn't see him coming up in the crowd, and he didn't get to make his award speech.
Oh yeah.
Which
is there a time limit on the speeches? Is it like the Oscars where you get hauled off if it
No. We did have Johnny Sizzle.
Oh wow, yeah, right on.
So it lasted a minute or two
I
or
can
three.
See that. Yeah. What'd he win? What was the category for him?
It would have been the punk category. I mean, he's as punk can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He was part of the original punk scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Take that, Chris Walter. Chris Walter, one of the original punks. I mean, it doesn't get any more punk than Chris Walter.
No.
It's true. He was punk before any of us.
He's booked with that in the title, isn't he?
Yeah. I was punk before you.
Yeah, right.
And he lived in squatting houses and like the worst places. And now he complains about the cold drizzle while he's jogging in East Van.
Yeah.
But he got out of his condo. Yeah, we're never going to let you forget that, Chris. So we have all sorts of great moments. We had one of my favorite bands, still one of the greatest party bands anywhere, anytime, anywho, the Dust Rhinos.
Right, yeah.
They make everybody dance. And
they've been doing that for a long time as well.
25 years, 27 years, so yeah.
So you're catching up to them slowly.
Yeah, so the Dust Rhinos have been with Beer for Breakfast the whole time.
That's awesome.
I'm proud to say they're good friends of ours.
Yeah.
I'd say all these people become your good friends, don't they, right?
They do. The amount of friends I've made over the 6 years doing this is ridiculous. Like, so many people I know that I would never have met otherwise if I hadn't interviewed them. It's just...
Look, if you got mean, vicious, and decided you wanted to be page 3, you couldn't.
No one would want to do it anymore.
There just isn't dirt and gossip and nasty people in the scene.
And no one wants to hear that anyway, right? Even if there is, who cares?
But, you hear all the... Well, you don't, because I don't tune into the entertainment shows.
Yeah.
But it's all about the dirt.
It is.
And every once in a while, it strikes me as like, there just isn't the dirt.
No.
People get into a bitchy mood and whatever.
Well, I think it's partially because everyone either is currently in everyone else's bands, or they've been in each other's bands at some point. It's so incestuous. Like, everyone is in each other's bands. You go back 10 years, totally random people, you find out they were in a band together, and it was awesome, and you just didn't even know it existed. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I really love these kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's so incredible. So there isn't that. It's all great stuff. And we had the Bahadis.
Okay.
Folks, check out the Bahadis. You need to be uplifted and, strip away the nastiness of today's news.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the Bahadis. Bahatiz.
Good name.
The family name is Bahati.
Okay, so it actually is except with the Zeds probably.
They're all sisters.
Cool.
Refugees from Congo.
Cool.
Spent 10 years in Uganda refugee camp, and they ended up in Winnipeg in the middle of winter, and they loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
They still we still love the winter, but they are such fabulous performers that after they came on, Blair, I thought, I'm in trouble. I mean, Blair's one of my best friends, but he grabs me and like, something's wrong, because you're always worried about your event.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks for making us having to go after these ladies. And these are the Dust Rhinos.
Yeah, for sure. That's a big deal. Yeah, they probably have headlined so many shows now that it's going. Yeah.
It's just in La Croix. The thing I love hearing people say, I hate X music.
Oh yeah.
But they were awesome. I don't speak French. I don't like French music. But this guy, what's his name?
Yeah.
Justin Lacroix. Oh man, I just got his.
They go out and get the album. Yeah, exactly.
Like, what? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Moontan. I'm pretty certain that was the Brunos were the first time that they played YYZ live, and Jaw. You heard the Jaws hit the floor.
Like full makeup and everything too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Moontan.
Yeah. Kind of comes with the package, right? Yeah.
They always bring the show.
Yeah.
And I was telling everybody, you got to check out this band. They're the best thing to happen to metal since Mastodon.
Yeah.
Then they really are.
Very good. Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah, these guys are really good. And then they pull out the YYZ. Boom.
Yeah.
Music nerds and non-music nerds went, wow.
Yeah.
10 years later, 10 years? It's almost 10 years now. Because we've been doing this since 2005. So 2009. 8, 7, 10 years.
Yeah.
We had Casimiro Nussi and Nafro Band.
Okay.
Holy smoky dojos.
Yeah.
People still, to this day, who haven't been to another Bruno's since, go, I still remember that guy you had.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes.
Well, that's the
whole thing.
And that's not somebody you're necessarily going to see at a regular, bar show or whatever, right? So it's definitely cool to bring that in.
He does his thing, and that's the thing about Winnipeg, is that we're pretty understated.
Yeah.
People love doing their thing. It's like, I don't want to have to go and do publicity. I want to work on my craft.
Absolutely.
And so,
which is hard now, because now everyone has to be a publicist, and because the internet has made it so you can get your stuff out to anybody, but you have to develop all these weird business skills that musicians previously didn't need to have.
And and it's fun.
Yeah,
I like building graphics, but I don't have all day to do one.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I have one day. Well,
yeah. I know what it's like. Yeah.
You've got your 3-hour block.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I've only got 3 hours. I'm going to work on what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it ends up being your product. So that's where it comes to yourself, me, and Ashley,
and everyone else is doing it. Yeah, the Village Idiots.
And I actually have a quick question about.
And sitting down with Village Idiots, for example, we'll sit down. It'll be like this great Venn diagram. We'll have all this stuff that overlaps.
Absolutely.
But a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't overlap. Oh, I heard this from. I heard that from. And that's what we do.
And you get introduced to something you would never have even heard before, because these guys know about it.
And it's just we have the best scene anywhere, anytime. It's just every taste in music.
It's very cool, especially doing this. I'm sure you've experienced this as well. But I've been, over the years I've been doing this podcast, I've been interviewing people who are a lot younger than me, and people who are older than me. I kind of have at least a frame of reference for what the local scene was like. I have some albums, I have some books, whatever. I know people who went to these famous shows back before I started going to shows. But the new stuff, it's like an alien universe for me, though. Someone who's 21 years old and me at 35, there's no connection whatsoever in terms of cultural references. So I learned about all this cool shit that I had no idea was going on. Just from some guy, and this is normal for them. But to me, it's like, what? What do you mean you're playing this with that? It's cool.
Oh yeah, you mentioned a band, I'll bring up a name like a good one would be like Lloyd Peterson.
Right.
The older folks remember him from The Cheer.
Right.
Younger folks have no idea who he is.
Or they've seen his name once on a CD liner note or something, and that's it. Yeah.
Now he's all primarily behind the scenes, and he'll play with other people. But his kids have a band.
Yeah.
So,
cool, yeah.
Oh yeah, Roger, yeah, I know them. I know their dad. And they look at you. Oh yeah. And
well, when I interviewed them, they mentioned that. I was like, oh, I had no idea. Like, but I recognize his name, and yeah, it's cool.
And they have no reference to what you have.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's a connecting point, done.
Yeah, right. You got a conversation immediately, and you can, for sure.
And like Winnipeggers got to like really give yourselves a pat on the back for being so open-minded towards music.
Yeah.
A Winnipeg story, but a non-Winnipeg musician. The Bare Naked Ladies were playing, and their opener, nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who Kurt Swinghammer was. I'm wondering, I'm like, oh my goodness, because I knew Kurt.
Right.
Well, I knew him from a distance. You know how this business is. Yeah. And I loved his music, and we were internet friends. And I was like, oh, I'm so excited. And everyone's like, who
is this? Yeah.
Nobody. Not even Kevin Donnelly, the guy that the VP who books like, oh, yeah, well, at least I liked it.
Yeah.
And then at intermission, he sold out of the CDs. People,
people hear it and holy crap.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
We're into this.
That happened, I think, I was at the Serena Ryder show a few weeks ago, and Begonia opened, and it definitely seemed like the vibe from the crowd was a lot of the older people in the crowd did not heard Begonia before, and like that booth was swamped in the intermission, like just...
You cannot help but be affected by Begonia.
Vocals are like unreal.
International Women's Day just passed, and we have some, amazing female voices that your jaw just drops. Like Begonia, chills. I get chills.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like that someone can be that pure of a voice. It's nuts.
There'll be a day where I forget my name and everybody around me. You'll say Begonia and Joey Landreth, and I'll get chills because I'll never ever forget them at the Folk Fest.
Yeah.
The Dust Rhinos just had their big sociable. And as great as it was, it's kind of funny to see all these 6-year-old and 7-year-old kids loving the music, which is
awesome. Yeah.
And it's all dancing music.
Yeah.
But it's all about drinking and whoring and drinking and drinking and
drinking. Which most Irish music tends to be about,
And the only songs that aren't about drinking and whoring are the ones about regretting drinking and
whoring. Yeah, for sure.
And these kids are singing along.
They don't care what it's about, right? Yeah.
But, don't worry about it, folks. Don't make it too deep. Just let it be about the music. Your good parenting skills will... But, Soul James.
Yeah, ridiculous voice. Unbelievable voice.
And we're familiar with it, but this performance...
Yeah.
She's definitely moved up another notch.
Cool.
The whole show just...
Cool.
Wow.
Well, one good thing, kind of to circle back to what we were talking about at the very beginning, about all these other people now doing these shows, whether it's on CKW, FM, or podcasts, or video things, is it makes me happy that this is happening because everything's being documented. And as someone who likes to kind of hoard local music and keep posters and all this stuff, it's nice that now this is all going to be on YouTube or on the internet or available for download. Or 20 years from now, I can't go back and find a bunch of stuff about bands I was into 20 years ago, but now people will be able to because it's all floating around the internet now. So it's cool that more people are actually paying attention to the value, I think, of this stuff, and however they're keeping it available for future, it's there.
And a good point, you mentioned documenting.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing, you can't be documenting.
It doesn't work, You need someone else, an outside person, to kind of recognize the value of it and keep it.
And, you say we don't have time to put on these extra, I can do one a year.
Exactly,
But I can't do it weekly like the idiots do.
No.
But every week I can get on air and say, hey, on Wednesday, check out these guys.
Exactly,
So...
Well, and I mean, with them, I had them on my show. They did a show with us. We did a live thing on their show. So it's everyone kind of is, you're on my show right now, right? It's as incestuous as the music community is, the music recording and documenting community is also fairly. Ashley's been on my show, I've been on her show, she's played some of our live stuff. Like, everyone's kind of intermingled. It's great.
I think, it comes back to what do we like in this province?
Yeah.
You like curling, you like beer,
Hockey,
curling, hockey, beer, weed,
music,
and those are all things that you never ever do yourself.
No, it's always with somebody else. Well,
if you've got one beer, I'm not going to say, Sam, I'll be right back. Go.
Yeah.
Back. I'm going to say, I only got one beer. Want to split it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You just, and everybody's like, oh yeah. Well, think about that. That is a really nice community spirit.
It is definitely. Good, thanks.
Thank you, sir. It's that everybody wants to participate. Everybody wants to
be involved.
It's part of the Canadian disease, right? The humbleness. Nobody wants to get up on stage by themselves.
No.
They want to get up on stage like, whoa, wait, there's something about Winnipeg.
I guess that's kind of what the Brunos is all about too.
It is. Yeah. It's about, look at, these are the people in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And as much as I want you to know them, they want to know you,
sure.
And vice versa, and you're going to get to know them as friends.
Probably start bands with each other.
Especially if you're a drummer or a bassist.
Exactly.
You'll start 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that makes it easy. Is I suck as a musician.
Yeah.
I long since learned that I'm a better promoter than
for
player.
sure. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. So do you want to just do one more reminder about the show details and then?
Yeah, that was. Thanks, Sam. That was a great convo.
It was good. Yeah.
I like to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, on the fly, kind of sitting in a restaurant. It's all good. So what's the just the reminder about the date and time and all that stuff? And
March 31st. That's Saturday night at Shannon's Irish Pub, right across from the convention center, downstairs. Very Tears-ish. Wonderful atmosphere. The food is amazing. Best non-fat boys in the city.
Cool.
Because a fat boy is a Winnipeg institution.
Right.
And so 8 o'clock sharp. 31st of March. It's a free show. No, there's never a cover at Shannon's. And we got 6 great artists. Ashley Bionnierge, Twin, Snarky Remarkable, Cole Schway with the band.
Cool.
Lakes and Pines. Otter and the Otters are going to finish it off. We're going to dole out the...
We just wanted to check in with the folks here. Is there anything else we've got?
No, we're cool. We're good. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's always a great party. It's a pub. They're open for lunch at 11 a.m.
Right.
And if there's a Jets game, I haven't checked yet because I'm loving it one game at a time.
Yeah.
If there's a Jets game, don't worry. We will have it.
It'll be on the screens. Yeah.
There is absolutely no way that a Jets game will not be on.
I can't see any pub not having a Jets game on if it's on. It makes sense. Yeah.
It is. That's we love our Jets. And you can go online right now.
Right to vote. That's
hereforbreakfast.fm and vote for your favorite local artist.
And that goes right up until the last day, right?
Right up to the last day.
Cool. Okay.
And that morning we announced the winners.
Awesome.
And also hereforbreakfast.fm. All the information is there. We got the concert, the event poster.
Nice.
So the relevant information, which is come on down, have fun.
Cool. And then your actual show, the Beer for Breakfast show, what's the regular time for that?
8 a.m. Oh my goodness, he says. 8 to 10 a.m. Saturday mornings, and we're always live.
Cool, that's awesome.
It's we get up in the morning with you, and we gently ease your day. We'll let you know what's going on during the week, so you can have a cup of coffee and plan it out.
Awesome. Okay, well, if people want to hear more episodes of this show, this one is coming out on an irregular day because we're trying to fit it in before your event, before the Brunos, but usually you can tune in on Wednesdays, not tune in, but download or stream on Wednesdays on whatever podcast player you use, also at witchpolice.com, and we're on UMFM on Sunday nights at midnight, and that's those are older episodes that kind of get a second wind, so we're talking about this now, and it's, mid-March? By the time this airs, it could be like August or something, so the event's over, but there'll be one next year, so you can get yourself kind of primed for that ahead of time, so...
There's always a Bruno. It was supposed to be a one-off.
Yeah, and it's turned into a thing now.
People wanted it, and it was fun. And
that's awesome.
And it's fun.
Cool. Well, yeah, everyone should check out the Brunos, and see you next time.